For example, in the football industry, money came quite fast, but errors, mistakes came also from day to day. And when the money came, the money didn't go the right way quite often. And it is still the case sometimes, because when you see the amount of the budget dedicated to the salaries of the players, you see that this industry is fragile. And the crisis of COVID shows this, because they didn't put some money aside in order to face crises such as COVID-19. So I discovered an industry quite new, progressively increasing, very, very interesting because it was my passion, but which with a need of professionalization. And this was a clue in my thought about creating my company. The third thing was that, and it is important for you in India to understand it, at least in France, if you want to work in the sport industry, there are some musts. You must have been a high-level athlete, or have been involved in volunteer organization in small associations, involved in the governance of the sport, from being a volunteer, even if you can get up to being a president of a club, for example. And the last way of entering this industry, it was to go and learn in some schools, some specific universities, with some specific diplomas. 40 years ago, there is a university in France, it is in Limoges, in the southwest of France, who decided to create a master's dedicated to sports and economics, economics and law. At that time, nobody was believing that this was important, but they decided to create it. And they became quite successful. And today it is a reference in France. Did you do CDES or not? So I saw this when I was in the cabinet of the Minister for Sports. And I said, okay, well, Kenny, you were a former Navy officer, you did the National School for Administration, you did Sciences Po, okay. But if you want to work in this industry, as you didn't go professional playing volleyball, as you are not involved in the life of a club, the only solution is to get back to work and get back to learn. And this is the reason why I decided to enter the MESGO program, which is a sport executive program dedicated to the governance of sport in Europe, because I felt that with this program, I would have been credible. And I don't know if I use this word in English, but no,
it's right. But the funny thing when I think about it is, somebody like you with those years of experience is humble enough to say, okay, you know what, I need to learn more. and that's fantastic, because I mean, that's the fundamental takeaway from honestly just having this conversation with you. And at the end of the day, you're so right. You got to continue to learn. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. Yeah, go on.
You're right. And my wife didn't want. Because you asked me for the first risky period of my time, but this was a second risky period, because my wife told me, Kenny, how many diplomas do you have? How many years did you spend after baccalaureate learning? So this is enough. You did ENA. ENA in France is the top of the top. So why do you go to pass a master to put you at risk of doing this master? I felt it was necessary.